a boat that can't stay afloat.
Okay, so everything had a chance to solidify, and a little guy's bow is all formed. So I think what we can do now is we're going to start to think about the stern section. Now the way he is, let me show you guys. There's a little notch in the back that comes out, and then the stern section comes up off that little notch. So we're gonna cut out the little notch on the bottom. So what we do is we're gonna keep the frame or the keel. We're gonna follow that, and we're gonna fold in the flaps to make the little indentation. We're gonna come out a little bit more, and then we're gonna bring it out just a little bit. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the flaps. And let's see, maybe we should do about 1/2 inch. I think maybe 3/4 of an inch would be a little bit better. So that's where we're going to fold it. So let's cut it. Yeah, just like that. So this is going to come this way, and this is going to form the little notch that he's going to have. So let me even it out just a bit. There. What we're going to do is we'll put a plate on the front to solidify it. So now we're going to come out a little bit more to actually form the aft section. So we're going to bring it in just a bit. We're going to fold. And again, we want it flared out just a bit. So this is going to be the little notch, and then we're going to have the little area on the top. But we're going to put one plate over this. So what I want to do is we're going to secure these sections with little anchors. So these are going to come in like that. So we're going to put the anchors here, and we're going to put the anchors over there. Let's see if the glue gun is ready. Alright, so we're going to put 2. And again, we want to make sure that they're flush. So we're going to bring it right out to the edge. That's good. And this one. There. So we're going to have something to anchor those flaps to build the wall. And then we're going to put the plate over the back. So now we can bring in, let's move these out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. So we're going to bring in, put some glue over here now on either one, or each one. And we're going to bring in the flaps. And we want them to be even, so right about like that. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to form a wall. So you'll be able to see a little bit better from this angle. So that looks good. So what I want to do now is we're going to put in an anchor. See how we got the little notch coming out now? So what I want to do is we're going to put in a piece to solidify this area. We're going to take one of these pieces and we're going to use this to anchor the wall of the top of the stone. Because this has got to be flush. But this is actually going to be the backing to give it strength, and we're going to actually put the wall and mount it to this for the back section of the ship where the stern is. Yeah. See how that's starting to look? And we're going to do the same thing now for the other side. We're going to actually bring the stern together. So what we can do now is I'm going to even out the back. We'll trim this section away. Just like that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put a piece and we're going to put it over here. We're going to curve it in so it follows the line of the notch. So now we have something to anchor the back wall to, or the stern section to. And we're going to use a larger piece. See how this is a little bit larger? That way there we can cut away the extra and we can still fold it in. So let me mark it off. So we're going to have it right about here. And we're actually going to bend this section. Let me make sure we get it nice and straight. And we're going to crimp it just like that. So when we put this on, it's going to go in that little section. And we're going to need to crimp it again right about here. And that way there, after it's glued, we can trim it down. But you can see how it's going to fill in that gap. Alright, so I think the first thing might be easier to do is we'll glue it to the anchor on the bottom. Just like that. Get a lot of glue on it. That way there we can push it up into the groove. Like that. So, alright, now we're going to glue this section. We're going to overlay this piece. Again, I want to push it down to where it's going to make contact. There. The clamps help because it's heavy-duty cardboard, so you can see it's got both sides closed in. Yeah, almost like caulking. So we'll let this settle, we'll solidify a bit, and then I'll do the other side. See how that's looking? So what I want to do is we're going to do the same thing for this side now. We'll do a little bead, almost like a caulking gun. Starting to solidify. See that? And we get the basic shape on the outline of the ship. Let me see if I can take the clamp off. Yep, that looks good. And take this one off. The clamp comes in handy. And you can see what we're left with is the section of the stern. You can see where it's going to go up in, and it's going to follow the crease. So I want to let that solidify a lot, just to make sure it's solid before we cut it off and trim it down. So maybe while we're waiting for that to solidify, maybe we can do the outline of the deck. And this is going to be the decking. So let's start to fit it in. So you can see how it's going to kind of fit. Do a little bit more trimming. We want this to be solid. And it's pretty solid, but I want to make sure everything is super cold when we start trimming along the edge, because I don't want none of that to break away, because that means everything we did will have been for nothing. So let's think, okay, when it comes to the decking, and again, it's easier to keep trimming than to cut too much and then be kind of having to add. So let's see how this is going to fit. This is looking pretty good. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And like I said, we're going to seal it all with hot glue. Let's see how we're going to have the deck now. Now, what I want to do to support the decking, we're going to make supports first, and then we're going to glue everything together, and we're going to kind of seal his hull and his deck. So the deck looks good. And again, it's good. So what we need to do is we need to put supports in for the decking. And we're going to use our friend Mr. Glue Gun. Yeah. And now we're going to take the cardboard and we're going to put it in place. And we're going to make sure it's about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Just like that. And this is going to give a lip for the deck to rest on. And you guys will get it when I show you in a minute. But let's get this nice and solid. Then we can put one on the stern. So this will go like this. And I know this looks like a mess, but you guys will be able to see what I want to do in a sec. Again, we'll bring the just about the same height. Yeah. So now I'm going to go ahead and we've got to cool it off now. So in addition to that, what I want to do is we want to put in some bulkheads to help support the deck. So I'm thinking these might work pretty well. This one can go all the way up at the bow, right there. So, the bulkhead, that will be glued into place. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 bulkheads to help support the weight of the deck. So what I want to do now is we want to anchor them in place with the glue. All right, so let me clean up all this mess, get rid of all the string of glue, and I'll show you guys what he looks like up to this point. Okay, so I'm cleaned up a little bit, and we're gonna let everything solidify really good. But you can see how we're gonna put the deck on, and it's gonna be supported, and we're gonna be able to bring the sides together to seal it shut, but we got to do that only after everything is good and solid. So you can see his bulkheads, we get the back section of the ship, and we're going to trim everything and make it nice and smooth. But I want to make sure now everything gets really solid and all the bulkheads are in place and they're secure. That way there it'll support the deck. And when that's done, we're going to put the deck on, and then we're going to think about putting on his deck houses. You can see he's got 2 deck houses. We got one in the front that's got his face where the wheelhouse would be. We got the one in the back, and that's where the smokestack is going to be. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next video, we're going to put his deck on, and we're going to talk about the boathouses.